out with the old and in with the new. Let's do a book unhaul. Hey, what's up? Hello, my name is Jessie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a book unhaul plus prepping for a trip to go visit my friend Gwen. Today is Friday the 11th. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go visit my friend in Virginia Beach. Her name is Gwen. She has a YouTube channel here. She's amazing. She has a podcast, a Patreon. Go subscribe to her, go follow her. She's amazing. I cannot wait to see her tomorrow. But Gwen has always talked about this place called the Book Exchange. And the way I am picturing it is like basically you donate your books, you get credit to shop books in their store. I am really excited to share all the books I am getting rid of, but I'm also excited to see what I can get. So this video will be in two parts. So I'm gonna quickly, and I mean quickly, show you all the books that I am unhauling, and then I will take you guys along with me to show you the books that I will be picking up. Whew, I have not even started and I'm already breaking a sweat. I have 3 large bags of books. So I'm just gonna go in a random order. I'm not gonna give any synopsises or anything like that. I might say if I've read it or why I'm getting rid of it, but we'll see. So in my first bag, I believe this one has a lot of paperbacks. So the first book I have is Mirrorland, and then I also have The Request by David Bell. I have The Last Time I Saw You by Liv Constantine. I loved The Last Mrs. Parrish, but every time I've picked up a book by this author duo, I've just been a little unimpressed. This is the only one I have not read by them, so I'm unhauling it. This one, I actually need to see if my friend wants this one because I remember her loving this one. I did really enjoy this one, but I just don't want it anymore. Next, I have Sick Fucks by Tilly Cole. I know this has been on my TBR forever. I have actually no desire to read this one anymore, so I'm just going to unhaul it. I have If You See Her by Anaya Alborn. I have tried to read more by this author, but for some reason I'm just not really connecting with her writing, so I'm getting rid of it. I have The Collective by Allison Galen. I really enjoyed this one, gave it 4 stars. However, I just don't have the need to keep it on my shelves anymore. The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James, probably my favorite one by this author, but again, I don't have the desire to keep it anymore. The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. Might Hurt by Stephanie Warble. I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. That Night by Chevy Stevens. Moving on to bag number 2. This one is actually not an unhaul. I'm actually gifting this one to my friend Gwen because this was my copy from Book of the Month. However, the dust jacket was ripped and it's also damaged. So they are sending me a new one. They said I do not have to return this one. This was on Gwen's wish list, so I'm giving it to her. Next, I have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just don't really see the desire in this one because I like more of the romance books that she writes versus like that historical fiction type of writing. Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane. I've tried numerous times to read this book and I can't get into it. So next I have Where the Stars Go Dark by Paula McLean. I got this as a blind date with a book and I just never picked it up. So I guess I ghosted that date. So next I have Do No Harm by Christina McDonald. I have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I did not like this one. I don't want to keep it. It's not Harry Potter in my opinion. Within These Walls, again by Anaya Alborn. I tried to read this one last month and I just could not get into the writing style. Next, I have Spare Room by Deidre Shea Mitchell. This is actually Gwen's copy and I'm just returning it to her. Next, I have One Italian Summer by Rebecca Surley. A Familiar Stranger by A.R. Torre. Was really disappointed in this one. The Reunion by Kirsten Modglin. The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Barrett. Next is Not a Happy Family by Sherry LaPena. Before She Knew Him by Peter Swanson. One by One by Ruth Ware. If You Know, You Know. The Holidays by Christina Lauren. I'm kind of curious if I would like this one because I did not like it, but again, I was like kind of like anti-romance. I don't know. And the last 2 in this book is The Dating Plan, which I ended up DNF, and The Last Thing He Told Me, which I found to just be okay. And the last one is this huge bag right here. Next, I have Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Jillian McAllister. Runtime by Catherine Ryan Howard. Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. The Arrangement by Robin Harding, The Better Liar by Tannen Jones, The Girl from Widow Hills by Megan Miranda, Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell, Long Bright River by Liz Moore. This has been on my TBR for so long and it's so thick and I'm just scared to read it because I just feel like I'm not gonna like it, so I'm unhauling it. I've come to terms that I am not a true crime nonfiction type of girly, so I just don't see the point in hanging on to this, but I have American Predator by Maureen Callahan. I have The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I've just heard terrible things. I tried to read this one twice and again, could not hold my attention, so off it goes. I have The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I read this one in October and this one was just okay. It was not the romance vibes I was looking for. I also have The Kiss Curse, but I'm actually giving this one to Gwen because I know she wants it. So I do have both of these unhauled. Such a Quiet Place by Megan Miranda. The Wives by Taryn Fisher. The Last Flight by Julie Clark. Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. Those Girls by Chevy Stevens. When I Was 10 by Fiona Cummings. Someday Someday by Emma Scott. Arsenic and Adobo, which I have read, and I think this is like a cozy mystery, I believe. I thought I had never read cozy mysteries before, but apparently I have. So, An Anonymous Girl, which this is actually a signed edition, so hopefully that means something at the book exchange. I don't know, but I've had this one forever. I can't get rid of it. And lastly, I have Black Widows by Kate Quinn. So, all right guys, that is all of the books I'm unhauling. So now let's jump into the future where I take all these books to the book exchange and let's see what I can come out with. Probably. So.
Oh, I'm really shorter compared to you. See? It's better.
Oh yeah, that is better. Cute.
Okay.
All right, we are back from the book exchange and we did a little bit of damage, I would say. I unhauled like 50-ish books, I think, and I came back with 17.
I've been in the process of unhauling 180 books, actually more than that because I had the box that I did today. So about 200 books and I got 18 books. So, I mean, I think that's great. We unhauled more than we hauled.
Yeah,
so.
that was the goal there. And
yeah.
I still have like 50 some dollars in credit.
Yeah, which means she gets to come back and visit.
Yes, I have even more reasons to come back. So I thought we could share the books that we ended up getting. Since you have 18, did you want to start?
Okay, I'll start. Okay, so obviously I know a little bit about some of these books and I don't know some things about the other books, but I'll tell you basically why I got them. So the first one I got is Live and Let Chai, and I picked this up because it's Lauren's from Lauren Loves Reads. It's her favorite cozy mystery series. It's the first book in that series and I do love cozy mysteries, so I picked it up and it was only like we spent store credit on all of this, so we didn't pay any money, but love cozy mysteries.
I'm going to pair these together because I got these at Barnes & Noble, so I did spend some money. But I went in there wanting All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox because I do plan on reading some Christmas romances this year. So that's the reason why I picked up that one. And then I also got There's Something About Mary, which Gwen actually ended up getting as well. This one didn't really sound on my alley, but then it said it's about like a dating app. And then I was like, okay, I kind of like that.
And then there's like a Christmas tree farm. Okay, first of all, pink Christmas cover. Yes. Oh, can you not? But I actually saw this before Jessie came and visited, but I left it there in the hopes that I could kind of convince her. And I did. So we both picked this one up, and it is like dating app, Christmas tree farm. And it's told in dual POV. You have Mary's POV, you have Clark's POV.
And there's like messages.
Yeah, there's text messages and stuff. So yay, I'm excited we got that. So Jessie and I are going to be doing an episode, Thrills, Kills, and Chills, for my podcast. Coming up very soon. We're going to be recording that episode. So I'm like, ooh, I need to maybe read a few more. So a couple of my stack are kind of like, I hope I read these before that episode. So the first one is Joe Nesbo's The Snowman. Never read anything by this author before, but I have heard good things. And if you look up like winter thrillers, this comes up on all of the lists. So I was like, okay, I'll try it out if I don't like it. Like, you know, no big deal.
I also picked up another, I guess, is this Christmas? Always in December?
It kind of starts in Christmas, but it goes like,
on.
Yeah.
So we plan on buddy reading another Emily Stone book. So I got this one at the book exchange. Didn't really pay anything for it, so I thought it would be perfect if I liked one book by that author, I could pick up the other one.
Yeah,
so
it's an emotional one,
which I like in my romances.
So almost picked this up at Barnes and Noble, and she was even thinking that's a you book. So I was like, okay, maybe like next Halloween I'll pick it up because it is like witchy. And then I saw it at the book exchange and I was like, I have to get this. So it's Go Hex Yourself.
I love the title.
And it's by Jessica Clare, and it says there's one hex of an attraction in this romantic comedy. So I love witchy stories, or I love the idea of witchy stories, and I love rom-coms. So I was like, yeah.
I got this one. I've seen it at Target quite a bit, but it's The Babysitter. But it's basically, it says like, this couple needs a babysitter that's brilliant with their children. Their own house has burned to the ground, so they need them much more than they expected, but she's like too perfect. I don't know, it sounded really good. It's also pretty thick.
Yeah, I mean, thriller, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next up I got My Name is Memory, and this is by the author that wrote The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and this one takes place in Virginia. And actually, when I was in an online book club, I bought this book for someone because we were doing like a state exchange where you send them like a book from your state, a memento from your state, a snack from your state, that sort of thing. And this was the book that I picked for them, and I was like, I hope one day I can get that book myself. That day is today. I got it. So it sounds really interesting. Sometimes love lasts more than a lifetime.
The next one I got is The Woman in the Dark by Vanessa Savage, and I actually checked this out from my library like 3 or 4 times, and I never get to it and return it, so now I own my own copy.
Very
so
nice.
That's why I picked it up.
Also almost picked this up at Barnes and Noble, but I didn't. She even said, oh, you left your book, and I was like, no, I decided I'll just wait. And then I found it at the book exchange, Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Sizemore. This is the book that Marcy has recommended on my podcast. Haley has recommended this on my podcast, and I'm like, I need to make it happen. Yeah. Now I have it. It should happen.
The next one I got is One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. And I got this when I was not a fan of romances, but now that I like romances, I'm going to give it a shot. And I always like the idea of like the Bachelor or Bachelorette like franchise in books, so I want to give this one a shot.
And plus size representation is good in this one, despite what you hear on the internet. It's good. Okay. Next up, okay, I took a chance on this one. I randomly saw this somewhere online and I was kind of interested, but then I kind of forgot about it. And it is The Farm. By Joanne Ramos. And I was like asking her if she had heard anything about it. But it's about this luxury retreat where it has all the amenities, all organic food, personal trainers, daily massages, all of it for free. Like you go there for free, but the catch is for 9 months, you cannot leave the grounds. Your movements are monitored and you are cut off from your former life while you dedicate yourself to the task of producing the perfect baby. So I think it's gonna have maybe some good commentary in it or something like that. So I figured,
yeah, I've heard like it's not a thriller, it's more of like women's fiction type,
yeah,
so.
And I'm okay with that.
I recently just finished another Jodi Picoult, but I found a lot of them at the book exchange, so I ended up getting Perfect Match, which I think this one has to do with like child molesters, which I feel bad saying that out loud. Like, why would you want to read something about that? But I like Jodi's like social commentary, and like
she handles those subjects very well, like from what I've heard.
Yeah, like it always makes you you never think you're going to think the things while reading it.
Yeah, and
if that makes sense.
But it also does make you think about those harder topics. I think about
harder topics. Yeah.
So like hard-hitting topics. We love books about hard-hitting topics. So everybody knows that I love Carolina Leavitt. So I got, or Levitt, or however you say. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that name, but this is With or Without You. I love this cover. It's like a painting. And I've just always wanted to read like more of her books. This is like, you know, obviously one of her backlist. I'm not too sure what it's about. It just says, happiness can come only at someone else's expense. Stella is a nurse who has long suppressed her own needs and desires to nurture the dream of her partner, Simon, the bass player for a rock band that has started to lose its edge. When Stella goes unexpectedly ill and falls into a coma. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
I picked this one up because of the first like 1 to 2 sentences because it sounded really interesting, but it's The Passenger by Lisa Lutz. And it says, with her husband's corpse still warm at the bottom of the stairs, Tanya has to go on the run again. When the police figure out that she never officially existed, they'll start asking questions she can't answer.
Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't pull you in.
That's just like the first tiny paragraph, but it sounds really good.
Yeah, I hope it is good.
I think I've heard good things about it. So.
Yeah. All right, another one that I loved the cover of this one. I thought it was really cool. And I thought I would give it a shot. It says psychological thriller, so we know I love psychological thrillers. And it has a very short synopsis. It's about a girl that like spirals out of control and stuff like that. Betrays her while with sadness. Revenge. I love revenge stories.
I was not going to pick this one up, but Gwen convinced me. But it's The Temple House Vanishing because I want to read a little bit more dark academia books, and this one sounds perfect. And I forgot I had the audiobook from Libro FM, which...
Yeah, I just randomly remembered that. I was like, did you pick that up from Libro FM?
And like, I did, and I never listened to it. So now I have a purpose for it.
This one drew me in by the cover. It looked like a thriller. It is a thriller. It looks so creepy.
It does.
It looks so creepy. A tense, twisting story about 2 brothers locked in a dangerous game and an unforgettable tale of family's dark secrets.
The next one I got is Little Deadly Secrets by Pamela Crane. I remember requesting an ARC about this and I got rejected, so...
She got it herself.
I got it myself for free, so, because someone else didn't want it. But this one just sounds like a typical, like...
domestic thriller,
well,
is it?
It's about 3 best friends, inseparable, forever sharing life's ups and downs, growing even closer as the years gone by. Nothing could come between them except betrayal. Nothing could turn them against each other except a terrible past mistake. Nothing could tear them apart except murder.
Ooh, I like the cover too.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
I love, like, now that thrillers are getting, like, more pinks and purples, so I'm always attracted to that.
Okay, I think I'll save that one for the end.
That's a good one.
All right, so I picked this up and I didn't realize until I got home that it was a book of the month copy, because I'm trying to get rid of my book of the month copy, so I may try to squeeze this in before the end of the year, but if not, like, I just got it, guys. It's The Reckless Oath We Made by Bryn Greenwood, which is the same author of, what's the title exactly?
All the Ugly and Wonderful Things.
Yeah, All the Ugly and Wonderful Things. And I really loved that book. It was a hard-hitting romance book. But kind of thrillery, but more mystery, I think. Yeah. More mystery than thriller. Drama. Yeah. But anyway, I really liked that book, and I've never read anything else by the author, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. A provocative love story between a tough Kansas woman on a crooked path to redemption and her unlikeliest of champions.
This one's kind of funny because I ran back to get it. I have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. And I thought this was a different book, but it's not. This one's getting really popular on TikTok, and I've seen a few of my other YouTube friends mentioning this one. It says, welcome to the family, Nina says, as I shake her elegant manicured hand. I politely smile, gazing around the marble hallway. Working here is my last chance to fresh start. I can pretend to be whoever I like, but I'll soon learn that the Winchester secrets are more dangerous than my own.
So it's like she starts working for a family that also has secrets. That's interesting.
I've heard really good things about this one on TikTok. So.
I hope it's good. I also picked up 2 Laura Dave books. I always try to get these on Pango Books, and they always sell out before I can actually purchase them. So this is the author of, what is it called? The Last Thing He Told Me, which I really enjoyed. I initially rated it 5 stars, but it is a tiny bit forgettable. So I lowered it to 4 stars, but I've always been interested in reading more. And so I finally got these two. Yeah, so I got Hello Sunshine by Laura Dave and 800 Grapes by Laura Dave.
This one's more of a decor piece, but I got How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss.
I love it. That's our favorite movie.
It's my favorite movie of all time, the Jim Carrey version. So this is more of a decor piece for Christmas than a book. So
okay, next up I got the Marlowe Murder Club, and this is about Judith Potts. She's 77 years old. So you guys know that I have been into like murder mysteries about older characters, the Thursday Murder Club, Killers of a Certain Age. So this one I was like, okay, this sounds good. She lives in her own fated mansion just outside Marlowe. There's no man in her life to tell her what to do or how much whiskey to drink, and to keep herself busy she sets crosswords for national newspapers. One evening while swimming out in the Thames, she witnesses a brutal murder. So I'm excited about that. Together they are the Marlowe Murder Club. So yeah, I hope it's good.
it sounds really good.
I love the cover of it. It's like a crossword puzzle.
Crossword, yeah. Okay, I'm taking a big leap because I've not read the first book, but I got The Retreat by Sarah Pierce.
Yeah.
I know she wrote The Sanatorium, which has not got really good reviews, but I keep seeing this one and it just has me intrigued. So, but I also feel like it's kind of cultish. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's like a retreat. I was gonna say, I think it's a retreat. It's literally in the title.
Yeah, I think there's like this retreat on this like remote island and then there's a murder there, but like, I don't know, maybe it's not cultish, but we'll see.
Maybe it is. We'll find out.
But yeah, I'm reading book 2 and skipping book 1, so we'll see how that goes.
Another one that I was telling you about for thrills, kills, and chills, The Girl on the Ice by Robert, I don't know how to say the last name, but it's snowy, her eyes are wide open, her lips parted as if to speak, her dead body frozen in the ice, she is not the only one. So a young boy discovers the body of her in the South London park, and then Detective Erica Foster is called in to lead the murder investigation. What dark secrets is the girl on the ice hiding?
Ooh. All right, this one I found by accident and I'm so excited. I found this book at Barnes & Noble and I haven't been like able to stop thinking about it, but it's Not Your Average Hot Guy by Gwenda Bonds. And I keep seeing book 2 but not book 1, and this one just sounds really cute but also kind of corny in a way. It's about this woman named Callie who her family owns like this escape room, and one day she's working and like people burst into the escape room to take a prop, and they actually summon, I guess, this love interest. Yeah. And I guess like her and the demon have to like work together to like save the world. I don't know, it sounds really corny but like it looks super cute, and I bumped into this book by accident.
Yeah, she was like, oh, and then we turned around and there's the book.
It was perfect.
Yeah, she almost got it in Barnes & Noble too.
Yeah, I don't know, I've been thinking about it.
And so now she doesn't even have to worry about it anymore. So Darcy Coates, I have never read a Darcy Coates book, but I do have one on my TBR. But I was like, but what if I love the one on my TBR? Then I need to have another Darcy Coates. And these are like, I never see them in like thrift stores or anything like that. Today was the first time I've ever seen Darcy Coates books in the book exchange. They had one, but it was like the second or third book in the series. So I was like, okay, I'm obviously going to pass on that. But I got this one. It's The Haunting of Gillespie House. And I think all of her covers look so similar.
They do.
I think that's what's kind of confusing to people.
I think that winter one was the only one that stood out.
Yeah, with the face or whatever. And that's the thing. We even looked at Barnes & Noble. We were looking at her books, remember? So I'm really glad that I found this one. And they're like kind of short too, so I took a chance.
This one I almost didn't get, but it is The Paid Bridesmaid. It kind of reminds me of The Wedding Ringer with Kevin Hart and Josh Gad. But it's about this woman and she has her own business where she is a paid bridesmaid, and she's going off to a destination wedding live streamed and sponsored for an Instagram influencer.
Oh, so fun.
And then I guess she meets someone there. So this seems like a perfect summer romance. So this will not be read soon, but I'm excited to have it.
Yeah, it does sound fun for summer. The second to last one I have is Good Me, Bad Me by Allie Land. And this is one that Jessie said I should pick up. She said that it was when she first started getting into thrillers, she said it was kind of dark.
It was so dark I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's good. Hopefully it is.
She's like, I don't know if it's good, but it was dark. It says Millie's mother is a serial killer. She loves her mother, but the only way to make her stop is to turn her into the police. And then Millie is given a fresh start, a new identity, a home with an affluent foster family, and a spot at an exclusive private school. So just, you know, it takes off from there. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot, see if it's actually good.
I got one more Jodi Picoult book. This is Spark of Light, which I think this one has to do with like a hostage situation at a abortion center. Ooh. So I like, and from what I've heard from other people, like this one doesn't make you like weigh one way about like pro-life and pro-choice, which I do appreciate. So yeah, I'm excited about that one.
That is such a pretty cover.
I know. I love the rainbow splatter.
Yeah. All right, the last one that I found was probably one of the most exciting things that I found. I snatched it off the shelf so fast.
It was scary.
Laura Lippis Volume 1. Guys, I got this for store credit. So I have heard so many people talk about, like Lauren from Lauren Loves Read, Gabby from Gabbing About Books, like Kendall from A Bookphoria. They've all read this, they've all loved it, and now I hope I love it too.
Yeah, it looks really cute.
So I'm excited. I love the color palette. The color palette is very similar to like this.
The cover.
So yeah, I'm excited about this.
And then my last book is a book of the month copy. It is What Comes After by Joanne Tompkins. And I've heard this isn't like technically a thriller. It's like a dark mystery, I guess. But after shocking deaths of 2 teenage boys tear apart a community in the Pacific Northwest, an unfamiliar pregnant girl emerges out of the woods and into the lives of the same boys' families.
Yeah, I hope it's good.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Those are our books we got.
Yes.
It was so exciting. I loved taking you. I just thought, yeah.
Yes. I cannot wait to go back to the book exchange. I really wish my town had one. Book exchange.
But it's dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
she kept saying that. She was like, I really want one in my town, but I kind of, this would be dangerous.
Yeah, that would be like my store. But yeah, but make sure you go follow Gwen if you haven't already. That way you can go see all of her bookish content and things like that. She's got quite a bit up her sleeve from what I've heard. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through misty